Hi, and welcome to Roots to Curls. Here you will learn about natural hair care ingredients, formulations, business, and more. In this video, we're going over a fun DIY project, which is the Herbal Mocha Java Tea Hair Cream. Here is the formulation for our hair cream. As you can see, we're making a small batch size of 6 ounces. However, within the video, we're using a 4-ounce jar. If we convert the 6 ounces into grams, that will equal 174 grams total. Now let's jump into the process. All right, we have everything here disinfected. What we have here is a digital scale, a blue 4-ounce container for the product at the end. We have a medium stainless steel bowl, a small medium stainless steel bowl, 2 small glass bowls for measurements of the smaller ingredients needed. And then we have another glass bowl which will pull everything together in that one bowl and mix together. We have 3 pipettes. And what I'm trying to show you here, it's a little hard, are the measurements on the side of the pipette container where it measures 5, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 drops. We have 2 spatulas for stirring, mixing. Oh, and I love this. This is my favorite item I recently found. It's a tea strainer for easy cleanup. Very fine holes around and on the bottom. And it just holds in all of the loose herbs so that it doesn't spill into the water. Another favorite item I found on Amazon was this immersion blender or handheld blender with different attachments. Comes with a whisk attachment. It's in red. I love that color. It's so pretty. And then there's the immersion attachment, which will mix the water and oil together. You'll see that later. And then on the side, I kind of created my own double pot boil method, small pot. Again, this is a small batch, so I just need a small pot and a small strainer, which will work for this video. And then I have a small single burner, which is great and easy to use. It has low, medium, and high settings. And when you're making your own DIY hair care products or just products for your business in general, you definitely want to use the low settings so you don't burn your oils or the water as you're infusing. All right, so let me ask you this. Right here on the digital scale, I'm going to show you, if you can see it, the different measurements of the scale first. You can just push the unit button. You'll see that it measures in ounces, in grams, and some other units, but we want to use grams because we're measuring by volume and not by weight. So whenever you're using products that are like butters and oils and waters, you want to again measure by volume and not by weight. And what I'm doing here first is I'm writing down the weight measurements of each bowl so I can know my tare. And basically your tare is the difference between the container and the ingredients within the container. So by putting the bowl on top of the digital scale and taring it, it will take the weight down to 0. So it's not measuring the size or the weight of the bowl. But then once you start putting ingredients in, it'll start measuring the ingredients within the bowl. I've had, and tell me if this has happened to you, that's why I do this trick, where my digital scale, something went wrong, and then it measured both the weight of the bowl and the ingredients, which just totally threw my measurements off. And I didn't know the weight of my bowl, so I do this method first. So that way I can always backtrack and deduct the weight of the bowl so it doesn't create an issue for me. And as you can see, the weight of my bowls, I measured those in grams as well. It's truly helped. So let me know if you use this method and if it's helped you. All right, so my airtight container, I have my Herbal Mocha Java tea, and let me tell you, it smells amazing. It smells like tea and coffee, chocolate, roasted dandelions, cocoa, cloves. It smells so warm and delicious. So I'll take my tea strainer and I'm going to start putting in the herbs. I'll fill it up almost to the very top. Smells so good. And if you want a list of the ingredients, check the description below to know what all makes this Herbal Mocha Java tea. Alright, next I'm going to pour my distilled water. I did not measure my water, which is okay in the beginning, just because I'm only just doing the infusion part. The whole total amount within the bowl will not go into the product that we're making. And you definitely want to use distilled water because it doesn't have any toxins or minerals in it, which keeps the rest of your ingredients, the properties of your other ingredients, from being altered or not effective. So putting that bowl together within my double pot boiler, and then putting the tea infuser in there, and then we're going to go ahead and just let that sit for about 15 to 20 minutes and warm it up so that the tea can fully infuse within that water. And as you can see, it already kind of started. Here we go. Now it's finished. Like I said, 15-20 minutes. Love this tea strainer. Again, no herbs have, fell out, came out. Nothing's floating in it. Perfect. Right here, we have pre-measured the ingredients. We have some of the infused tea, some aloe vera juice, which is part of phase A, or the water phase. Then we have our phase B, the oil phase, with unrefined shea butter, mango butter, emulsifying wax, and cereal alcohol for thickening. And then we have a part 2 of phase B of the oil phase, which is almond oil and some rice bran oil. And I will not heat that up. Alright, so what I need to do is first combine my water phase, the aloe vera juice, with the infused tea. And then next I'm going to warm up phase A and part 1 of phase B with the butter, the butters, and the wax. Alright, here we go. Now everything's warmed up, so I'm just adding everything together. The water phase in one big bowl, the oil phase with the melted butter, emulsifying wax, which will help combine the water and the oil, and the cereal alcohol, which will kind of give it a nice thickness and stabilize the product. And then our part 2 of phase B, which are the oils that were not warmed because it's already in oil phase, which is the almond oil and the rice bran oil. And then I'm going to take the immersion blender and blend the oil and water together. It's a little tricky. The bowl was a little too small, but that's okay. We're making a small batch. I had to pulse it for a little while because it's like when you first start using it, it tends to suck down towards the bottom, so it kind of makes it hard to lift up and kind of work it through the mixture. But after a while, you get the hang of it. And as you can see, it's blending. It's turning into like an opaque texture. It's kind of thickening up a little bit as well because of the emulsifying wax, but also because of the cereal alcohol. Now, if you don't see this texture when you're trying to emulsify water with oil, what I've learned is sometimes you might have too much oil and not enough water. And usually when you're emulsifying oil and water, you want to stick with kind of like a general ratio of maybe 60 or more percent water compared to oil, maybe a 40% or 30% oil base of ingredients. So here I'm using more than 60. So it really helps bring the water and the oil together very, very well. Again, you can see it's becoming creamy, buttery. It looks like buttermilk. And it smells so good. You can also smell the nutty fragrance of the unrefined shea butter, which, keeps that, that nutty, chocolatey flavor as well. Mixed very well with the mocha java, the herbal tea. All right, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for, a nice creamy texture. It's not separating. It's blended well. Great, looks beautiful. That's the look you want for your hair cream. Okay, so we're gonna pop a lid on that and put it in the freezer so it can finish cooling down for the cool down phase and, lightly solidify, become kind of like soft, not hard. It's sat in the freezer for about 20 minutes, so I pulled that out. And I'm going to check it to make sure that it's solid but not hard. It has to still be soft because I want to be able to whip it. There we go. So it's still soft to the touch, but it's not, liquid in the middle or runny. Now I made a mistake here. So I didn't hold the bowl down. It was a small bowl. I thought I could just, stick the whip. It kind of got away from me. I thought I could just stick it in there and it'll stay in place. I guess not. So I had to make sure I held that firmly as I whipped the butter. Made a little mess there, but that's okay. But as you can see, it whips very easily. It wasn't hard. It was still soft, but it's solid. And just look at that creaminess. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. And it smells good. I wish you guys could smell it. It smelled so good, so delicious. All right, so just kind of scrape the sides a little and just see if I have the right texture and consistency. And yes, I do. It's light, it's fluffy, it looks like butter or whipped cream. Very, very light texture. That's what I'm going for in a hair cream. Hair butters are usually a little bit more firm. I wanted something that's more softer, lighter to the touch. Now I'm adding my vitamin E oil, which is good to keep the product from going rancid, meaning, bad smells, changing of color, keeps it fresh. And then adding my peppermint essential oil. I love peppermint oil because it's also great for the scalp. All the oils and aloe vera juice helps locks in the moisture in your hair, especially if you have curly or coily hair texture. But that peppermint oil smells wonderful, and it's, it gives you that fresh scent on your scalp, and it stimulates hair growth. And I'm just mixing that in, so when I, whip it and try to get it all through the mixture, the oils, don't splatter. Here I go mixing it. I'll mix it for a little bit just to make sure, it's all through the mixture, the whole bowl. Just blend it evenly. right? And just getting the sides. And again, just double checking texture, making sure, the product didn't thin out. It's still creamy. It's still, together, nothing separated. And then last is our preservative. I want to have a longer shelf life with this. I plan on using this for a week or two. It's going to last definitely for more than a week. So, adding a natural preservative will extend the shelf life. It can extend it up to maybe 6 months to a year, but I know I'm going to keep it a lot longer than 6 months, but just in case, if it goes to a year, I don't want it to go bad too soon. And I just stirred it up again, so when I mix it again and blend it well throughout the product, there's no splashes of the preservative. Now here I'm just going to keep blending, making sure that I'm working the preservative throughout the whole product, at least for about 2 minutes. And that's a great thing about small batches. It doesn't take a very long time to whip, just a few minutes. But if your batches are longer, just know and understand that you'll have to blend your products or your mixture a lot longer, just so you can guarantee that, your preservatives, your antioxidant, your vitamin E, and any essential oils or fragrance oils are worked well through within the product. Right, and just checking again, making sure the texture is still there, it's still creamy, there's no change within the texture. Beautiful, look at that, just like butter. It's silky. I love it. It's going to be so easy to apply to my hair, to keep it moisturized, to lock in the water. And it smells delicious. All right, so we're at the end here. We have our 4-ounce container. I did make a little bit more than 4 ounce. I think I made 8 ounce, so I can definitely fill up 2 containers. But for this video, I'll show you, it has a liner, that white liner in it for, to keep the product from spilling out. And I'm just gonna fill up that container. Oh my goodness, that looks so beautiful and silky. I don't find too many products on the shelf, commercial products, that just provide that smooth texture. That's why I started making my own hair care products, because, I get to control the final result and the smell. Sometimes I don't put fragrances in there and I leave it with the natural earthy scent, or I'll add peppermint or lavender. So let me know how you like this video. How, did everything come out to your liking? Do you like how creamy and smooth it is? Is this something that you would try on your own? Look at that. Oh my goodness. And it's just so soft to the touch. I know it's going to absorb very well into the hair and just, provide all those benefits that I'm looking for my scalp and for my hair, my natural hair. All right, guys. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this video. Please share, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.